turnaround jump shots, tough jump shots, get easier shots for yourself. And number 2, the turnovers. Nick just ran through a bunch of statistics Jason Tatum leads in. Also leads the league in giving souvenirs to fans, which while a nice gesture is actually someone else's responsibility. You don't need to start giving game-used balls to the people in the front row. Although I'm sure E40 appreciated it when you pass the ball 3 rows deep. So is his superstar status in jeopardy? A little bit. If you're in the NBA Finals and you're not playing like a superstar, yeah, it's a little bit. It's salvageable, but it's certainly in jeopardy.
All right, look, I'm going to try to make sense of what you said. But first of all, I don't want to hear another thing about Jason Tatum's shoulder. All right, because when Steph Curry was laying on the floor, howling in pain in Game 3, you guys dismissed it. And Jason Tatum grabs his shoulder like once or twice early in every game. Oh, my gosh, his shoulder's a mess. So I don't want to hear about the shoulder. Secondly, Wilds, just own it. You are kicking him. You are trying to kick him out. You are on the verge of kicking him out. You said a little bit, kind of. If I asked my wife, are you cheating on me? And she said, a little bit, kind of. We got a problem. All right? We got a problem. So you're kicking him out of Club Superstar. Own it. All right? But Nick is right, and I haven't said this in a month or two. Nick is right. Congratulations, Nick. Finally got something right. All right. You can't kick him out of Club Superstar. All right. There's 5 guys in Club Superstar, Wilds, that have not done what Jason Tatum's done, which is lead his team to a finals. Oh, and at 24 years old. Ja Morant, he's young. He hadn't done it. Nikola Jokic, everybody's favorite MVP all of a sudden. He hadn't done it. Joel Embiid hadn't even gotten a team to a conference finals. All right, Damian Lillard hadn't been to the finals and won't be. Let's just keep it real, won't be. All right, and I'm missing one, but there's another one in there that hasn't led a team to the finals.
You forgot Luka because
Luka's
in your
young
brain
too.
He's been
Luka's
there because it's such a fait accompli. He'll beat us 10 or 11. But Real Madrid. Go ahead. Sorry.
He will. Yeah. Well, he'll beat a couple.
Slovenia medal round.
A few. Yeah. But anyway, 5 of them Wilds. So Nick's point about I'm not gonna punish him for going. Remember, Wilds, this is the guy that outplayed Kevin Durant in the first round, that beat Giannis and the defending champions in the second round, and had an historic performance in Game 6, must win, and that went through Jimmy Butler and Heat culture.
Okay.
All right, and Nick is right. He's leading the Celtics in virtually everything. No, it's not a great series, but I can live with it. He's still firmly in Club Superstar.
Well, hold on. I want to go ahead, Wilds. I'll respond to you. Go ahead, Wilds.
Just retort. Okay, Nick. If I was a diver, okay, and I was a great diver and I got to the Olympics, and then in the gold medal round, I just did cannonballs and belly flops. Do you think it would be fair for the diving analyst to be like, he did get here? He did, you know what? No, he did do a cannonball when we were expecting a triple Salchow. But you know what? He did get here. A lot of divers did not get here.
You know what?
22% in the fourth quarter.
If he was putting up Draymond's stat line in the finals, then maybe we would have something to talk about. But it's 2 very specific things he is struggling with. 2-point field goal attempts and turnovers. He has been a good rebounder. He's been an excellent passer. He has been the best three-point shooter of the series all of a sudden. Now that Steph went 0 for 9, he has been, and he's been, by the way, a really good defender. But here's why. Brew is on the board of directors for Club Superstar because we value consistency and we get a tax break to have, someone in his age bracket involved. So he's there. You, on the other hand, however,
I fell for it.
You, on the other hand, Wilds, are not on the board of directors for Club Superstar, and here's why. When we ran by you that we were opening this joint, you know what you said? I want a capacity of 25. I want it wall to wall.
Yeah.
I want people stepping on your shoes. And now we've been open 2 months, and you want to draw people down. So are you advocating, if Tatum were to be kicked out, someone to replace him? Or all of a sudden is the club now down to 11 people, maybe 10, because Chris Paul, if Jason Tatum's had a performance in the finals worthy of being ejected, Chris Paul certainly has. Are you advocating for a replacement for Tatum?
It's a fair question, and this is why I'm not on the board of directors. Also, I don't want emails about a club. It's a fair point. He outplayed Jimmy, so I can't. It's a fair point. I don't like when the segment.
Midas, tires, brakes, oil repairs. Request your appointment at Midas.com today. NBA Finals, deadlock, 2 games apiece. It is now best of 3 for the title. Game 5 tonight out in San Fran. The winner will sit just 1 win away from hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy. We got Twan back with us, but Nick, I want to start with you. What chance do you give the Boston Celtics to steal Game 5 tonight?
Oh, I don't think it'd be a stolen Game 5. Even though they're the underdogs, to me, they're the favorites in this game, and it's very, very simple, Brew. And I've learned my lesson on this, picking against Boston in the second round against Milwaukee and leaning to pick against them against Miami. I think I said Miami in 7, and initially picking against them here. If it is impossible to win a series against a team if you lose Game 1 and that team simply does not lose back-to-back games. It's literally mathematically impossible. And so in some ways, this series was salted away in Game 1. Boston, in the last 5 months, has lost back-to-back games 1 time, and that was when they rested 4 starters. So for all intents and purposes, they haven't done it. If they've proven anything, Brew, it's that they respond to losses with excellent performances. I expect them to do that. I expect them to go in San Francisco and win tonight. And I expect you, I'm very curious what you're going to say here, because if you're all chest out, 10 toes down, bass in your voice on tonight's game, not in the series, then tomorrow's you got a tough few days ahead of you. So if I were you, I would hedge a little here. If I were you, I'd say, I think the Warriors might win, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Celtics win. Give yourself a bit of an out, because I am firmly confident the Celtics are going to win tonight.
Well, look, this is no hedge. I'm just going to tell the truth like I always do. I'm facts over feelings. Now, I'm picking the Warriors tonight. Here's how I see the rest of the series going, guys. Warriors win tonight. Break Boston's string of being 7-0 after losses in these playoffs. Boston wins Game 6. So you guys get excited again. Your hopes are up. And then Golden State wins Game 7 at home. I picked them in 7 to start the series. That's how I see it going. Now, I got too much respect for the Celtics to just completely write them off tonight. So it's not a hedge. I'm just speaking from the heart. They've done me well. Okay, I was able to come up here with the base, with the chest out, with the 10 toes down in the second round against Milwaukee, in the third round against Miami, plenty of times. So I got love for Tatum and Brown and the guys, all right? So I'm not going to disrespect them and say they have no shot. They are better on the road in the playoffs. You said it, Nick, undefeated after losses in the playoffs. So they got a lot going for them. And I think you can argue Jason Tatum is due.
Just pick them.
But the Warriors are 10-1 at home. All right, they're not good on the road in the playoffs. They're 4-5, and they haven't beaten a team twice on the road in any of their series. So I think they know. I think they're entering this like, look, we got to win. All right, you're not saying must win, but they're like, we got to win this game because they don't want to go back to Boston down 3-2, knowing they struggle on the road. Not an impossible feat, Twine, but it would be tough. So I think Golden State comes out thinking must win, and they do get the victory. But the Celtics aren't going to just be a rollover. That's for darn sure.
Well, I'm very confident that the Celtics are going to win tonight because they're battle tested. This team has done it all season long. They've responded in these moments. I don't see no reason why they shouldn't respond. After watching film, they should be very confident. I feel like the Celtics beat themselves. You're talking about a 1-2 point possession game with 3-4 minutes to go. Some bad missed assignments defensively on the best player on the floor and handling his pick and roll. And then offensively, not attacking the basket, settling for threes. When they watch the film and understand why they lost this game, they will rebound. They'll be better. It's not all about Tatum having a big game. Jason Tatum has to be solid. It's not about he got to have this big game, the 40-point performance. They have a good team. They have multiple guys. He's got another all-star on that team that has performed well throughout this playoffs. Need him to be well. Marcus Smart has to be better. For the Celtics, it's more about team than one guy having to get off. So I think sometimes we're getting caught up that Jason Tatum has to have this big moment, this big game for them to win. No, they got to bounce back. They got to control the glass like they've been doing throughout the series. They didn't do that in Game 4. And they got to get their defensive assignments together. They got to defend better on Steph Curry. You can't just now allow one guy to beat you. Make some of those other guys step up and have to win the game for them. And the Celtics have yet to do that. So moving forward, I think that's something they should look at. But I'm very confident that they're going to step up and get it done tonight because they've been battle-tested and they've done it all year.
Okay, Antoine, I'm going to come back to you because I agreed with about 95% of what you said besides the fact that you don't need Jason Tatum to get going. Jason, do not listen to